Welcome to episode 30. Believe it or not, episode 30 of Big Mike and Little Ant. This is our regular show. We're going to do a lot, talk about topics. We have 3 separate topics apiece, which we both don't know about, in case you guys forgot. And also, he has his book of questions, and I have my versus questions at the end of the show. It's been a while, but we're happy to be back to our original show. It's a lot of fun. It's where we're the most transparent. We have so much fun discussing these topics. And what's going on with you, Ant? How you doing today, buddy?
Man, I'm doing good. I got up this morning to finish day 2 of a tournament I started. You know me, I'm a cloud gamer. I love Google Stadia. Well, they reached out to me and a bunch of content creators, and they said, "Hey, we're doing a cloud play beta, which is really cool." So if you think of gaming, and if you was a streamer and people are watching you, they had to go through a lot. Like when I was a PlayStation guy and somebody's watching me stream, and I said, "Hey, I'm playing basketball. And if you want to jump on the team," I had to go through hell to get them to be in. 1, they had to be my friend. 2, I had to get their gamer tag. 3, I had to. Sometimes it would be easier to throw them in a chat and add them. But it's called crowd play. Someone could watch and then just click on the link and it pull them in my game. So anyway, they reached out to me, said, "Hey, if you stream this weekend, and stream the game, because the game was free for the weekend. So not only people get to play the game for free, right? They asked if I would stream it, they'll give me free copies to give away. So they gave me the game free, right? Not just the regular free and then it ends on Monday, but gave it to me free. And then they asked me how many copies I want. I was like, 5. I didn't know if that was too much. They got back to me and gave me 5.
Nice.
So I did a 2-day event where I was giving it away, had a tournament, and it was cool, man. It was a lot of fun. So I just finished that off. So now I'm here with you, man. Went to the beach yesterday, which was cool. We didn't get in the water because it was a little chilly out there, but for my taste. But it was a lot of fun. So I am good. How are you doing?
Yeah, it's going to be not chilly, but not very crazy hot. It's supposed to be a little more 80, 79, 85-degree weather the rest of the summer, maybe.
It's over.
So we'll see how that's going. But no, I'm good, man. I saw the Rocks movie, Jungle Cruise. Yesterday, I was telling you about that or whatever. I was just thinking about doing a spoiler speed discuss, like a 5-minute video. I'll talk to you about that later on and whatnot. And for this channel. And then I also with the IHOP this morning, I'm up ready to go, man. Just happy to be here and looking forward to this content we're putting out.
All right, well, listen, I am ready, man. I'm always happy to do this show. Like you said, reason why Mike said we're the most transparent is I do a lot of content, Mike do a lot of content, but this show we ask each other questions and stuff come up and we just talk. So we thank you guys for being in the chat. Unitrix is in the building. Unitrix, this guy, man, he was leading the whole competition,
right?
With all the wins. But this guy Ben started winning, and this guy Guido said, "Hey, I gotta go," and they both had 3 wins apiece, and Ben just ended up catching them and sped past them. And it's funny because there was matches where Unitrix and Ben won together on teams. So I had to do like, okay, since you guys are the winners, pick a number between 1 and 10, whoever got the closest number. And every single time Ben won, and so Ben ended up etching out being the winner. And so Unitrix, thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate it. And E Money is in the building. What's up, E Money?
What's up, E? Shouts out to E. He was on our Black Widow spoiler discussion last week. He brought a lot of insight and stuff like that. And of course, if you watch our channel, subscribe, you'll know we have lots of movie reviews, spoiler discussions, and a lot of different other things throughout the channel. So, and we'll be back more with that next week. But anyway, let's get right into this, man. Why don't you start, man? What's your first question?
All right. So here's something I wanted to talk about a long time ago, which is funny. I had it in my notes, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna bring that up." I think this was either February or March.
Wow.
But it was the day that made 40 years to the day that the United States first had the AIDS epidemic.
Okay.
Yeah. So way back when, I forgot to bring it up, but I was going to ask you, do you remember where you were, what was going on in your life when you found out about AIDS? I don't know if you was kind of young at the time, but when you found out that AIDS was like a thing.
I think I didn't realize it until Magic Johnson got it and retired, right? So that was 1991. So that was 30 years ago, actually, right now. and I would have probably been like 6, 7 years old. But even though I was 6, 7 years old, I was very smart for my age. But and we had to retire because of it, so it was a big deal, obviously. And I think that's when they started really talking about it and more on the news and health class stuff like that in schools and things like that. That's when I really realized it was a really a huge, big thing. And I remember the stigmas behind it and how like people didn't have a lot of knowledge about it and how scary it was. I remember even people thought you can get it from just touching somebody who had blood on their hands and stuff like that.
Everybody who had it was gay and you had to be mess with a gay person. That was like a thing.
Well, I was gonna tell you that was a thing. They were scared to use the toilet behind somebody who had it, right? They thought they might have it. You can get it from beyond that and stuff. And even when Magic tried to come back, players were scared to play against him, but they were like, well, I don't know. What if he touches me and I get it? So it was just like so much non-knowledge about it. It's funny because you see it now with the new coronavirus last year. If you go back to the beginning, how much of not having enough knowledge about it, how you make your own determinations, based off of stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely remember that. And that's what funny you say about the gay thing. That's what the whole premise of the movie Philadelphia was about, right? Because Tom Hanks was gay and stuff like that, and he wanted with AIDS, and he got fired because of it. Denzel was his lawyer. If you don't see the movie, and blah blah blah, which is a great movie. Tom Hanks won an Oscar for that. His first back to back, and then so I thought that was great. And I don't know. Yeah, I definitely remember it. And I'll stop right there for now. What about you?
So I was going to I wanted to throw my thing in there. When I remember driving to work back, it was either March or February. And it was on the radio. And I was like, oh, wow, that was deep. And I remember writing it down. And I meant to bring it up I wanted to talk about it on the show and forgot. But it brought me back to Philadelphia. That's one of my favorite shows, favorite movies.
Mine too.
The acting was superb. The emotions in it. Dude, if I watch it today, I'll probably cry. Like the emotions that, and I'm not an emotional guy, but that movie, from the acting to the emotions, the way it made you feel, and touching a subject of that magnitude.
At that time.
At the time, yes, at that time. Also, and what else was I going to say? Magic Johnson, that was a big deal. He was actually my favorite basketball player. I don't talk about basketball, but he was my favorite player. That was my team back then. So that was funny. And then to look at him now, he was on a commercial not that long ago. He looks great, healthy, right? But I think his thing is, I think he has HIV, but never got AIDS, right? Isn't that the thing?
Well, yeah. What else? The other part about it back then, right? People didn't realize the difference. There's HIV, and then there's full blown AIDS and whatnot. And yeah, he has HIV itself. And I think it was the fact that everybody thought it was a death sentence right away, and didn't realize, what the HIV does is it affects your immune system, but you still got to get sick in order to get worse, right? So that's like you always talk about your immune system. So if your immune system, even if it's compromised, you still got to get something to get worse or whatever like that. So, but that's not even the thing. Magic Johnson, I mean, he was able to back then afford the cocktail that they had.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. So that's the
back
thing.
Then, though.
Right.
Back then, it was too expensive for anybody. Now it's prescribed. It's regular now, or whatever like that. But back then, that's why he survived. Let's say the first 5-10 years of it. Post like 2000, 2005, it's not really a death sentence at all anymore. That's what I'm going to get to next. Now you have a better chance of surviving with AIDS than cancer.
Right.
You do now. AIDS is not a death sentence at all anymore. And whatnot. I'm not saying people shouldn't still protect themselves and blah blah blah, but I'm saying it's more of just something you live with medicine more so than like cancer, which there's still nothing you can really do about. Pretty much after chemo, it don't work or whatever like that. So it's very interesting. And a lot of people don't know that how far we have come along with it. It's like
well, what's crazy though, man? It's not even talked about. I don't know what conversations to get into, but with people, but it's almost like AIDS isn't a thing anymore. So it's funny.
I'm telling you, because of the stuff to use to live with it, it's like the same thing you live with high blood pressure or diabetes. It's just a cocktail
or sexually transmitted, any other
or any of the STD or whatever like that. Now you just live, eat, same thing as all the other ones, right? Eat right, exercise, be healthy, take your medicine, and you'll live for many years. Where I'm telling you, it's only one still that we can't get a hold of. It's two, I guess. Coronavirus and cancer, I guess, the ones you can't.
I don't know. I feel like the vaccine is You know, I mean, they got Delta out now, but other than that, the vaccine's doing a pretty good job with coronavirus.
Well, what I will say is at least coronavirus is only a year and a half old, so
Right,
that's very young.
right.
Cancer's been out for 100 years,
Yeah, now
and we still,
cancer and arthritis.
yeah, and arthritis, yeah,
Yeah, that's the thing. I remember my grandma had arthritis, and eventually she couldn't walk anymore, and she was like, "I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy." She said the pain was just unbearable. You know,
yeah, yeah. Those are the
there's
two
no cure for
that
cancer for
no
arthritis.
for cancer either that we
Right,
really can't get a hold of, and cancer is probably even more,
right,
I guess, because at least AIDS or HIV, it really was a sexual transmitted disease.
right,
I mean, obviously you can get it if you like use the same needles, like
right.
drug addicts stuff like that, but that's more rare. But cancer, it's a no
You don't
gift.
know.
You don't know.
Right.
The most fit person ever
That,
who ate right their whole life gets
that's
cancer.
right.
Like, you don't know.
Doesn't matter. You talk about a bullet, don't have a name on it. Cancer, boy. Cancer
Yeah.
don't care. Right.
No,
No
there's
discrimination.
no discrimination. So
Right.
it's really, really hard. It's really like a luck of the draw thing with no cure. So again, I mean, I want to take this far apart,
Yeah.
but I just want to talk about the HIV,
Yeah.
how it was then growing up, even as a young adult, how
Yeah.
scary it was when I first was,
Yeah, man.
you should know, like
Yeah,
having sex and stuff
dude,
like that.
it shook everything up. I remember Outbreak came out, the movie
Yeah,
Outbreak with the monkey, and people was like, "Oh,
mhm,
did AIDS come from another country?" And
yeah. And
um,
most STDs, I mean, the one you do, I mean, HIV obviously, and I guess herpes, and I don't know what
mhm,
other ones, but the ones you live with forever or whatever that
mhm.
can't get rid of, but they're all still the
Syphilis, right?
same.
I think you.
Syp-
Yeah,
I think syphilis maybe.
yeah,
I think, but they all still the same thing, medication. But to your point, younger guys in this day and age, they more worry about babies than STDs.
yeah. Right, for real.
Yeah,
For real.
yeah.
We're more worried about getting somebody pregnant. Yeah, and then you're like, damn, I got child support for 18 years.
Right, right, right. I feel like they're like, I got herpes, but that's cool. But let me, I want a child
I don't want child
support.
support.
Yeah, so
I don't
yeah,
want to deal with
that's
that.
that's a that's a good topic, bro. Or
Yeah.
whatever. So
Well, let's look in the chat. Bruce is in the building. What's going on, Bruce? He said, great movie. Yeah, man. Uh, um,
great movie.
and he said, fantastic. Bruce said, fantastic. Bruce Springer track also. That was really. I remember that Bruce. I could hear it in my head. He's talking about the song from Philadelphia. Gotta take a little time. Oh man,
Yeah,
yeah, dude, I'm about to cry right
yeah.
now.
I'm gonna watch that movie soon.
Dude, it's a amazing movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was a big fan. I remember, I remember, you're young, so you mess with girls and you go to the clinic, right, to get a test
Yeah.
or whatever. And they used to
Yep.
play that in the.
Are
We
you
sitting
serious?
down like, yo, what the hell, man? Yo, why are you
Man,
playing this?
that's crazy.
For real, that was yeah. Let's see. Bruce
Yeah.
said, I love the documentary about Larry Bird and Magic Johnson.
That was good. I saw that.
He said around live AIDS, 85, AIDS was just horrific. Yeah, man.
Yeah, yeah,
And thank you guys for chatting with us as well. I know it's not a crazy topic, but Big Mike and I, we talk about anything, but we haven't did the show in 2 months, right? I can't believe. I
yeah.
said, wow. So many movies, but we talk about anything on here, so nothing's left off the table. But it's good, constructive conversation, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, we're gonna try to keep this show more frequent. I know it's a
Yeah.
lot of movies coming out, and our both of our time, as you can see, the king of content over there, his time is really
Just
limited and
added
stuff
a
like
new
that.
show, man. Wednesdays at 5:30 p.m. I'll be doing the Olympic Games now.
Yeah,
So, for that game. So people loved it so much. I'm gonna see what happens. I'm gonna see what it turns into.
yeah. I'm kind of free at the moment until football season comes back.
Cool.
So, which I'll be back
That
with
starts
more.
next month, right?
It starts at the end of next month. Yeah,
Okay.
and one day this month, I guess.
Oh, okay.
August now. It's August 1st today. And then I'm gonna also do my fantasy draft, just throwing stuff out there for the channel and stuff like that. My fantasy draft will be on the channel as well. So but moving forward though, so now this is a good one for you,
Okay.
but
Well, let me do this real quick. Let's just for the Bruce that just jumped in. Bruce, I don't know if you was watching our show back then, but the way we do it is I have 3 topics, Mike have 3 topics. And either Mike could go first and I'll go next, and we just go back and forth. Now, neither of us know what we're gonna bring up, so we don't know what our topics are, which is pretty cool as well. And then at the end, I'll do a book of questions, which Bruce, you're familiar from the Sandy Anthony show, and then Mike will do his versus questions. And Mike, I'm glad you got your versus questions back. When I got that text from you, I was like, yes.
I
Um,
know.
and then But if we have guests on, we allow guests to bring their own 2 questions, and Mike and I would do only 2 questions. So that's kind of how it goes. Just want to bring that up real quick.
Yeah, out of nowhere, bro. I just charged my old phone up and my Wi-Fi worked on it, which hadn't worked for months or whatever before. And I was able to get in there to get them. I took a screenshot real quick of them. And then like 15 minutes later, it stopped working. So I'm happy I got it back before that happened. So I got them in my gallery right now. And a couple other things I took a screenshot of, while I got a chance. It's always good to check your old phones. You never know if that might work or not. If it's stuff off there you might want. Speaking of that, did Sandy get her phone, by the way? I mean, it's off topic.
Yeah, she got her phone last Monday, so she's all set with that. She's all happy.
Did she get everything back, or you don't know?
No. So she got the notes thing that she was worried about.
Okay, that's good.
There's 2 things that one thing she got back, one thing she didn't.
Oh, okay. So, gotcha. All right. Well,
that's good enough,
this
right?
is good for you because I've seen this online, but this happened to you. That's what I love about you. You have so much experience or whatever like that. But I actually added to it because I want to see something else, with you.
Okay.
So the question online was, if you propose, or did this happen to you? Exactly. I don't know. If you propose and she says no, is the relationship then over?
Okay. So no, that didn't happen to me.
Okay, didn't happen.
The 8 million times I proposed, they always said yes. But
okay. Oh, you proposed to the same girl twice though. That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
That's what it was. Yeah.
All right, so it's a good question. You never happened to you. So let me ask you that question. Right. If you proposed and she said no, is the relationship over?
I think back in the day, I would have been like, well, we're done then. But now, knowing what I know, she might be doing me a favor. So now I'm more understanding. Before I would have been more short fused and be like, yo, if you're gonna say no, then we're done. Because the times where I did propose to her and I took my ring back, I was like, well, we're done. It's a similar question. It wasn't like, well, we could just stay together. It was like, no, I mean, I'm taking my ring back. So I mean, what's the point of being together? Well, she eventually was like, yo, we're done. And I was like, all right, cool. She let me off the hook, so to speak. But yeah, I think now. So if you ask me now, I'm 45 years old. If I was to propose to a girl, let's say I met a girl, I propose, and so people can have a lot of reasons. So let's say you take me, right? I was married 3 times. Let's say I got a divorce, and then I meet a girl, and we're together for like 2 years, and I propose. She might be like, bro, you've been married 3 times already, like. And I would be like, you know what, you got a good point. Let's just see how things go, and maybe you'll change your mind. I think I'm more understanding. So if a girl said no, I would want to know her reasons. And if she give me a good enough reason, I'd be like, we don't need to be over. I understand, But being young is like you are not accepting no. So those are both of my answers,
Gotcha. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. I always feel like it's over at that point, honestly. And not because I want to be mean or malicious at all, but I feel like that's hard to come back from. And it's hard. Now I get maybe her reasoning. If her reasoning is that like it's hard, but if her reasoning is like based off me, like, you know what, like I still like you, but I'm just not ready to marry you. Yeah, I feel like there's some things that I want to see you do before I marry you. I feel like I'm on some sort of a test period or something like that.
Right.
Kind of bothered me or whatever a little bit. If it was for her, it still would be it'll be easier because it's not about me, but at the same time, it's like, when do I come back and propose again? Do I save the ring at this point? Right. It's just a lot of questions I would have. It would be hard for me to know, like I said, like to come back. Do I wait 6 months? Do I wait a year? Or do I ask her, hey, are you ready yet? And then I do it then after that. But that's not even like, it's just like no surprise in that situation. Right. So it's like a hard thing to come back from, I feel like. That's what I always say. If you're going to propose, not that you should ask like up front, but you should know she's gonna say yes or no or whatever. Yeah. It shouldn't be that much of a. So, the question should only be how, when, or what, but not is she gonna say yes or no.
So, I agree with you. I feel like when you propose, you should have pretty much know that she's all in, right?
Yeah.
So the people who propose and then they get the no, it's like that's kind of on you, right?
Yeah.
You like what y'all never brought that conversation up. Y'all never talked about marriage. You never talked about kids. Like, how did you not know? Well, and I feel like maybe people who the girls say no is because maybe the guy feel like their relationship is kind of like about to end, and this is trying to save it. Like how sometimes women get pregnant and just think a baby's gonna save it. Sometimes people think a marriage is gonna save it. You know. or not all the time as women too, as guys sometimes think, oh, if I get her pregnant, maybe I could keep her. But I feel like you should kind of know, like you said, she's gonna say yeah.
Yeah, you should have had conversations or know a woman like, yeah, or even talk about like what they might want in a proposal or something like that. And if you do it 6 months, a year after that, at least you know, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just the ones who are so surprised. And that's my whole point. If they were on the fence already, they weren't sure, right? And then she said no. Again, it's so hard to come back from because you already weren't sure.
Right.
You took like a chance. So I'm like, how do you come back from that? Like, I just feel like that's
Yeah, it's
even
almost,
even at that night, it's mad awkward or whatever.
yeah,
Like
it's
you sitting
almost
there
a
with
death
a
sentence. Yeah.
you sitting there with $1,000 ring now, just that you own for no reason. Oh, I guess you can take it back. I think you told me
Oh,
they take rings back,
no,
right?
listen. I remember I didn't know that was a thing. And my boy was like, bro, just take the ring back. I was like, take the ring back? You can't take the ring. He's like, what? He's like, yes, you can. He's like, you got a return policy on that? I was like, for real? I was like, yeah. I was like, yo. And then they said 50. And this was, bro, this was what, the early 2000s. They said
Right,
50% of engagement rings come back. This was back then.
right,
I
right.
can
Probably more
imagine.
now.
Yeah, probably 85%.
That's crazy, but still, all right. Okay. But my next question was, if she says no, similar to you, right? Because you took yours back, right? Does that change your relationship or whatever? I guess, like if she says no, or in your case, when you took it back,
So yeah, when I took it back, it was never like when I took the first one back, I didn't want to end the relationship. I was just like, yo, man, I'm taking this back. I feel like we ain't where I want us to be. And she
right,
was like, all right, then we're done. I was like, what? I was like, it's kind of my
right,
way out. The
right,
second time, I knew it was done. Like I was like, yo, give me my ring. I'm taking it back. This ain't working. We're done. She was like, all right, take the ring. Well,
right.
she didn't want to give it away that easy, but
But the first relationship, you took it back, and between that, was the relationship still the same? As the same, or was it
nah, we
different?
was going downhill. Yeah, I mean, it just that made it even more. Like we were starting
Right,
to go where I didn't like, and I'm
right.
just like, yo, I'm not gonna marry you, and knowing that return policy, I want my money back, right? So when I took it back, it just really went downhill and just ended. The second time, I was already like, I was done. So when I was done, I
Gotcha.
was like, yo, give me my ring back. We're done. So that was second time. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, cool. All right, you're up, man.
Yeah. And guys in the chat, you guys can answer these too if you like, and we'll read out your answers.
Yeah.
All right. So my next one is, let me see what I want to do. All right, let me ask you. You want me to do a relationship thing or a movie thing? Which one you
Why
would
don't you
rather?
move the relationship
All
just
right,
now?
cool. Let's because you just did a relationship. All right.
Yeah.
Um, that's so funny. Wait till you hear my relationship question. Yeah, where our brains are. So, if you could create a movie, what type of movie would it be? Like, what type of genre? It could only be one. Like, not like a mixture, but it had to be like your solid. This is my movie that I'm directing, creating. What genre would you create?
That's a pretty good movie question.
Yeah,
Um,
I can't wait to see. I don't even like. What do you say? What do I say?
my genre would be like a dramedy, like drama with a little bit of comedy in it,
Okay.
I would say. And honestly, I would make mine a little bit like the movie The Wood or
Hmm.
something like that, where it would detail kind of like a fictional autobiographical, like showing like parts of my childhood with my friends
Hmm.
and things that happened in my life and grew up at. And 'cause I got thousands of stories in my
Yeah.
head that I would love to see go to film. So of course I couldn't put them all on there, but I would definitely have like certain people in my movie, up
Right.
to including you probably. But yeah, that like or characters of those people or whatever and stuff from there, and maybe kind of like that, like coming of age story, and
Okay.
it's triumph at the end of the story. It's like a drama
Gotcha.
with a little bit of comedy. I obviously added to it. I think that would make like a good story for me. Or whatever,
Wow.
so.
Okay.
It'll have romance too, betrayal. There's a lot
Right.
in my life that happened. Intrigue,
Right.
yeah, some action. So trust me, it'll be a lot in there, but
Yeah.
that'll probably be the genre.
Gotcha. That's cool. It'd be funny, but it still would be.
Yeah,
Guys, you can also can answer this too. So when I think of movies, I think of so I love action movies, but action movies are so done. And I
yeah,
feel like if I could make a movie but make it better than the best movie I've seen, right? I don't want to touch action. I feel like there's so much great action movies, so many great stunts, explosions, you know. Um, but I love sci-fi, and I would love to make a creature feature. I feel like that's what's missing. When was the last time? And I'm not saying Godzilla versus King Kong. They're so iconic. They're almost like a person, right? I'm talking about you. Do you remember the movie called Alligator? I mean, it's super old when I was a kid. But so all right, forget about it. You remember the movie Lake
I
Placid?
remember Lake Placid. I love Lake
Okay.
Placid.
So you know, something like that. Or you know,
Yeah, that's dope.
I thought what was really good was the Meg, right? The Meg
Yeah, that was good.
was really good, right?
Yeah.
I
They're
would
making a sequel to that.
huh?
They're making a sequel to that, actually.
Oh yeah, I heard that was a rumor, but that's a guarantee now.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. Um, I would make a creature feature, but I don't want an actual like an alligator shark. I want a creature, and
That
it'll
don't
have to be,
exist.
huh?
That don't really exist. Like
Yes, it
something.
had to be
Okay, got it.
sci-fi. Like remember the Blob from back in the
Yeah,
day?
yeah.
So it would have to be something like from outer space, or
So like the original,
probably
Predator, before people know what it was. Like,
right. But I want it to be massive, kind of like
okay,
how Cloverfield was. Like, but maybe not that big that you see it walking over buildings. But like I want it to be this creepy thing, like in the wood, and maybe it'd be sci-fi to the point, kind of like Aliens. You're on another planet, but it
yeah,
wouldn't be a bunch of them. It'd be one thing that's out there just killing people, and like it's a horror, but it's more of a creature feature. It's some creature, and it's
right.
just like eating people, and they don't know what it is. They don't know where it's at, and it's just coming. For people, like if you remember Jeepers Creepers, how like
Mm-hmm.
eerie that felt, and it was just flying, so you didn't know where it was at. But this
Mm-hmm.
will be more like, I wouldn't want it a flying creature, but in my head, I kind of see some blob type thing with tentacles. It looks like it could be fur, or I don't know. It'll be a creature feature.
Kind of like the creatures that we just saw in what's that movie we just watched?
What the day after tomorrow, or tomorrow, whatever.
Tomorrow War.
Yeah.
Tomorrow War. Yeah.
Not even like that. I think of more like a bigger, slower, nothing fast jumping around, but
Okay.
something really big, and you see it like you're not trying to shoot this thing with a gun, because it's like, well, it's not giant, but it's
Right.
like huge. It might be a
Mm.
one-story house, not like
Gotcha.
yeah,
Okay. All right. That's
yeah. That's
cool.
what. Yeah.
Definitely. All right. I like that.
Matter
I
of
like
fact,
that
I'm
too.
gonna go on Netflix, man. Later, I need to see a creature feature I've never seen.
Okay. Well, real quick, E Money in the chat, so he would say sci-fi horror for
Okay.
E Money, and E Money, you would be in my story definitely of the growing up, coming of age story, because I got a lot of stories about you. And TJ says suspense thriller, which is also a good thing.
Nice.
So that's cool. And thank you guys for being in the chat once again. All right, my next question is I got to bring this up because it's happening, and we talked about this throughout our show. A lot of times. So the COVID numbers, man, they're starting to creep back up again, and certain states are now going back to releasing the mandatory mask mandates. So mandatory mask, I should say. Not New Jersey yet, thank God, but a bunch of other states are. So how do you feel about that? And do you think there could possibly be another all-out shutdown or whatever at some point?
It sucks. But so me listening to the news, they've been talking about breakthrough cases, which is people who are fully vaccinated, but they said it's very rare, but they're getting COVID. So because there was gun ho on just get the vaccine and you're good, but now these breakthrough cases is becoming a thing, but very small. And then you
Ones
got Delta,
who aren't vaccinated,
huh?
the people who aren't vaccinated are still getting a lot of it.
Oh well, yeah, obviously. I mean,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
the big deal was like, oh, get vaccinated, you're good. But now these breakthrough cases are showing that some people are still getting it that have because that's the term they're using, a breakthrough case.
right.
If you are fully vaccinated, you have both of your vaccines or the one shot,
Yeah.
and you still got it. But now Delta is a thing, so people are saying the Delta variant. A lot of younger people are getting the Delta, more down south and in California, but which is weird that it's a certain area.
The big deal is that get vaccinated, but the problem is that they're not getting vaccinated.
Well, yeah, we're getting so I'm talking about
Okay.
yeah, I'm getting to it. So
Okay.
the thing is that to get to that part is I remember when the statistics was out a few months ago, and Philly was 78% of people of adults in Philadelphia was vaccinated, and 48% in New Jersey. So like, damn, that's a big difference. People don't want to get vaccinated. So I don't think you should be forced to, but then again, I don't know. I mean, how are we going to stop this thing or slow it down, right? But what about the herd, the herd immunity, right? What about more people? The whole thing is supposed to be if more if even my job said by 4th of July they wanted 80% of our work staff to have the vaccine, to be vaccinated, right? Because then it's herd immunity is what it's called, right? Meaning more the people than more than less have the vaccine, so the chances of spreading it will be very less likely. So I guess it depends on these states where the numbers are going. I guess there might just be the states where there's not, like in the Midwest. There's a lot. Remember, there was a lot of people who, not to bring up politics, was more Trump areas where they didn't believe in the vaccines, or not even the vaccine. They didn't really believe in the COVID anyways. It didn't take it as serious. So their numbers are going crazy because the it's not as many of those states, not as many people in those states was vaccinated.
Well, so yesterday, Florida had 21,000 new cases, which is the most they had since the beginning of the pandemic. And this is now after the vaccine. All right. So that's crazy, right? To say. Like you said, Jersey about 2 months ago was at 48%. We were steadily climbing, but now we're only at 56. So we just kind of stopped.
Right.
So at some point, the people who were going to get it, got it. People who were like, I'm not going to get it, stop getting it.
Right.
So never getting to the herd immunity number because the people are not going to keep getting it. So that's a problem. And I think what the people who are projecting the herd immunity were thinking it would keep going up and up and up. They didn't realize that it was going to stop. And people were like, no, I'm not getting this or whatever. Yeah, and then like I said, the people who have it can still get the virus. Maybe not as worse, but they can still spread it. People who don't have it. So then it's getting, worse and worse and worse. I just think that I know things were looking good. It's one of those things where I feel like don't count your chickens until they're hatched, right? Or my mom used to always tell me, don't count money until you have it in your hand. That's like saying, yo, I think next week I'm gonna do this. I'll probably get this money, so I'm gonna buy this now, but you don't got the money yet, or whatever like that. So we were projecting this herd immunity, and based off of that, we were saying, okay, let's open these spaces. Let's stop the mask. Let's go 100% everywhere, because about to be herd immunity in a couple months anyway, blah, blah. But it never happened. So I think the problem is that they shouldn't have done all this opening and reopening and unmasking until
the
you
numbers of it's consistent numbers of people who had the vaccine.
Right, or whatever. Just because you get 5 people today and 4 people tomorrow, it don't mean 3 people gonna come the next day. Like you got to have it actually happen or whatever. And I know the world, the U.S., they project everything, right? Projected movie sales, projected of whatever this and that. But with something like this, you can't project. You got to have it actually be there or whatever. So I just feel like that's the problem. And then again, we talked about this earlier in our shows. Just going back and forth. Now they're saying, I think Atlanta mayor, now she's mandating the mask again, right? But it's like with people going back and forth, they're like, yo, what are you talking about? Like, I'm done with this mask stuff. Right? You going back and forth is probably the worst thing you could do. Which is why I think our governor, what's his name?
Christie?
No,
Phil Murphy. Phil Murphy.
That was 20 years ago, Christie. But anyway, Governor Murphy is still like saying he strongly suggests, and I hate when politicians strongly suggest stuff. That doesn't mean anything at all.
Yo, as soon as you say strongly suggest, I'm like, wait, you didn't say we have to? Yeah, suggest.
Right. I don't know why they would do that. It's just something to say on a press conference. Like, I highly recommend or strongly suggest. That means nothing. Just don't even say it. Right. So anyway, he highly recommends, strongly suggests that people wear masks when they go places, whatever like that again. Again, that's dumb. So you're saying that they should, but I don't want to say they have to. That's the stupidest shit ever.
Well, you know what, anyway. That's where politics is. You're playing the field. They're like, oh, but don't you care about us? I said I strongly suggested. And the people are like, oh, you're forcing me? I said I strongly suggested. I ain't say you have to. You're trying to play both lanes. That doesn't work.
it doesn't work in something like as serious as this. 'Cause like you said,
Like,
as soon as you say that, that doesn't
right.
mean anything or whatever like that. Like,
Yeah.
and I see certain places are saying, like even a movie theater, whatever, say we highly, recommend. But what does that mean to people? Like like you said, you're saying he went to the door. If it don't say it on the door, it's like whatever.
Right.
But I was with you guys last week, and I think you had on the mask and she didn't, or
Right.
one of the other times when I was like
Right.
that. So it depends on how you feel. So
Right.
I really feel like that at this point, I know where it's gonna go, bro. Because if you know, like I know, the wintertime is always worse than the summer because people are less outdoors. So I feel bad for people like kids because they go back to school September, like full time, 100%, and then numbers say go up again. They got to shit like the back and forth is ridiculous or
Right.
whatever to me. So I don't know. Like I know it's like I feel like I know that people were like, woo, we're out finally, good. But as soon as it's around the Delta variant, numbers go up. And again, I can't say the US was wrong
Right.
because we never reached the herd immunity, the herd immunity
Right.
to know if we're wrong or not.
Right.
So we don't know if they were wrong. We never would get there. And now people are just still scared to take the vaccine. So it's like a crazy
Well,
situation.
I don't know what to say, man. I had COVID, and COVID is real, obviously. But I still don't want to wear a mask. But I wear it if I have to. But I haven't wore a mask. This is so crazy. I haven't worn a mask in probably like 3 weeks. Anywhere, period, right? I always had one in my back pocket. And the last week, I was like, oh, snap. I don't know where I haven't had a mask in my back pocket when I went to work or in my car or anything. And I'm like, everywhere I go, nobody asks. You're supposed to wear it at my job. They stop asking. The rumor, my wife said the rumor for her job, and she works for the state, but the rumor, I said, it's just a rumor right now. The rumor is that they're going to make you have to get a test every week. So if you don't want to get the vaccine, that's fine. But you're going to have a COVID test every week.
That's what's coming out for New York and California. It'll probably follow New Jersey as well.
Right.
You got two options. It's going to be for state and city employees. They control you to work for the state or city or whatever like that. Either you're going to have to get a vaccine and prove it, or take a test every week. Now I've had to think of my nose. If it was me, I'd rather get the damn vaccine than the test every week.
So here's the thing. I always said this, right? I always said, I don't listen. I just don't want to take the vaccine, especially because all right, forget me working at a market research company for 20 years. Forget me hearing crazy stuff, right? Me personally, I don't even take Advil. Like, right. I don't take nothing. So me personally, I just don't like anything in my body besides bad food, right? I don't want to take the chance of taking anything. I've been healthy for a very long time, and I feel like, ironically, I'll be the guy to take the vaccine and drop dead. I'll be the guy that my toe get ran over, and I go to the doctors. They say, "Oh well, we just need to do blood work," and then they check my blood, and you got kidney failure. I'm just so afraid of me being that stuff that I don't take anything because I haven't forever. Right. But I always said, listen, if it's mandatory, it's mandatory. I don't fight the system, right? I don't fight.
What about something like that? It's not mandatory, but if you don't, you got to take a test every week. What would you do?
I think I'll probably just take it then, because now it's just getting tedious and annoying. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
It's like, all right, bro, just give me the damn needle. If I drop dead, then oh well. But I'm not getting a test I guess I probably would just get the test, but I guess maybe if I talked it out with myself, like, all right, dude, just every Sunday at 4 p.m., just go get this stupid thing. It takes like 5 minutes, sit in line, blah, blah, blah.
Right. It would be tedious and annoying.
Yeah, it would be. Plus, I feel like I look at the people that get the vaccine. Like, remember when I didn't know you got a card? So I didn't know that, right? And I was like, yo, and then the lady at my job was like, what? We got a card. I was like, oh, bro, then I feel like you should go anywhere. They were like, well, get out my face. I got my 2 vaccines. I'll do it. I'm telling you. Let me get the card.
But I did see companies, I don't know, I think it's maybe Disney or Google, somebody, they are requiring it now. And they're a private entity, so they can require it. The vaccination. I think it was
Disney.
Disney maybe or something. Yeah. So I feel like that's the next step, right? It's like, if they really feel strongly this is the way to get back to some sort of normal and people are just refusing, that's the next step. If you want to work here, you got to have it. And I feel like that's going to be people didn't want to be forced, but I feel like that's the following steps now.
You know what I can't believe, though? And I feel like this, I just don't believe it. I do not believe Florida cases was higher now than it ever was. Like, if they don't stop.
That's what came out yesterday, bro. No.
That don't make no sense. You explain it to me to make sense.
Okay. Got you. Whatever. So, yeah, I don't know, bro. Anyway, you up next, bro. What you got, man?
All right, cool. So we're moving through this pretty fast, which is cool. You know, we usually our episodes are pretty long, but my very last one, Mike, what do you think is the perfect age to get married and why?
That's tough.
See, Mike, I came up with 3 good ones in like 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And you saved the one for that St. Anthony show, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't use that. Yeah.
So now I gotta watch the show to see what that one was.
Yeah. It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you gonna start? Are you gonna start the show with that one? Or that question you got? Or?
Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna start it with that one.
All right. Cool.
Start with that one.
Anyway, a good age to get married and why? I probably would say 30. I used to think like younger than that.
Okay.
But I think knowing now that I've lived and I'm 36 myself, I would say 30. I feel like 30 is a good place where you like really know where you're going in your life. A lot of times in your career, if you have one or not, or what's going on with you and stuff like that. You've also lived life enough a lot of times to be able to say, you know, I've experienced the guys' trips, the crazy fun, the multiple girls, blah blah blah. So there's no regrets there if you're able to do that. And I'm going generally, like most people have done that by that time.
Right.
I feel like that you might be you've already lived alone at that point a lot of times. So a lot of times they say you should always live alone before you live with someone just to experience what that's like. So I think you've already done that by 30. And I think it's just a place where like you're kind of ready at that point and whatnot. So I would say 30.
That's deep. I should have did the math, but obviously I came up with this quick. I'm gonna say 36. So this is why I disagree. Let's say someone who went to college, right? So they got out of high school, probably 18. They went to college. They was in college for a couple of years. Let's say they was in college longer, right? Let's say they got out of college. Now they kind of want to party a little bit with real life, not partying in college, but kind of live a little bit, be vicarious, whatever, right? So then you add in some more years up. So they're getting close to being in their 30s, right? Okay. So then I feel like 30 is too early. I feel like 30 years old in some people's lives, you still probably, especially if you went to college, because college holds a lot of stuff, right? Or then if you didn't go to college and you was partying, now you want to be more serious. I feel like me, I didn't go to college. I got to do a lot of stuff, this and that. I think my second marriage, I think I was like 32, to be honest with you. And I got a divorce like in I was married for only less than 2 years. I feel like 30 is still, I think I was in my 30s when I realized her parenting was right. Something happened with my kids, and I was like, it was weird. It was like a light switch. I was always upset with my mom. I always felt my mom was too mean, and I was literally in my 30s. I'm telling you. I don't remember how old, but I was in my 30s, and I was like, yo, it was like epiphany. I was like, my mom was right, and I never turned back. I always, since then, my mom was right. My mom was a great parent. She was mean as hell, but I get why. And I feel like I was like in my early 30s, right? So I'm gonna say 36 years old. All right, so you take your early 30s, everything you said, but I'm still gonna give you another 6 years on top of that, right? So you can really make sure you done with all the girls. You can really, because another 6 years, you do a lot in those 6 years. So I feel like, you know, some people are late bloomers, man. I don't know. So make this, I'm going to say 30, so not 35 when you're like, oh, 5 years. No, you still need 1 more year, right?
Right.
Before, where you're like, oh, 5 years before.
You know what? You actually got a point because I got married. I think I was, I'm 36 now. And that was, that would have been 20. I want to say December, probably 37. So that was December 2012. Okay. I want to say. So that would be what, 8 years? So I would have been 28, I guess. 28 right. Then. So you're right. I wasn't really ready at 28. Yeah,
2 years later. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I wasn't really ready because I want to get divorced or whatever later on. So yeah, a few years later. So yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, I would say more 35, 36 or whatever like that. Yeah, now I think about it.
Yeah, I really thought about it. I'm like, we think we can't wait to be 18, right?
Yeah.
Well, all right. kids can't wait to be 17 because you're close, right? Then you can't wait to be 18. Everybody want to be 21. Let's just be real, right?
Yep.
Then you're like 25. I'm grown, right?
Right.
30 years old, you're like, yo, I did it all, this and that. But you got a big head. You got that ego on your shoulder. You think you're grown at 36. But what have you really done? You how entitled are you, right? To really be entitled. So I feel like 36 is probably a pretty good, age. To get married and be like, you know what, I feel comfortable that I'm gonna make really good decisions at this age.
You know what's funny? When I was 28 at the time, I think I was trying to be 28 or 29, but I felt like that. I was 28, but I felt like that. I felt like I was old then. Like, man, I'm almost 30. Right in my head, I'm like, I'm almost 30. She's pretty good. I might as well settle down at this point. But now I look back at it, I'm like, yo, I was not old. I was like still young or whatever like that. Like I still have something I could do. So I think you're right. I'm gonna switch my number because I'm going to 36 or whatever.
Yeah, man, that's fair.
Yeah, I feel like that.
So I got to do this, right? This is just for the audience and myself and you. Let me figure out how old I was, right? So I got married at 18, my first marriage.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I want to know how old I was the second time I got married. So let's pull out the calculator. So it's 2021 right now.
Yeah.
I got married. The last time I got married was 2009, right? So let's do 2009. So that's 12 years ago, right? I'm 45 now, minus 12. So I was 33.
Yeah.
And I was married for a year and some change. I got divorced in March, and May would have made 2 years.
Okay. You would have been 35 by then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been 35.
Yeah.
So now let's do this. It's 2021. I got married in 2015. That was 6 years ago. I'm 45 minus 6, so I was 39 the last time I got married.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah. And you felt the best about that marriage.
I knew, like, you know what? And I was, maybe a year before that, I was like, I'm not ready yet. I'm not, and it was cool because I was going to church, and I remember that helped me get a little more grounded. And then one of my exes that I used to had the biggest crush on had like hit me up. And my pastor used to say, when your past comes along, you know where your future is at, right? Catchy. So she hit me up and was like flirting with me and stuff. And like instantly I was like, yo, I'm ready, because I was done. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, get out of here. And I used to be so into her, but it was weird so much. I felt like I needed that also to happen, and I was like, yo.
Wait, she's your ex that you were really into at one point?
Yeah, so I was so into this girl. So all right. We dated for like 2 weeks, so that don't count.
Okay.
I was super into her when we used to always go to the club. It was somebody I always seen at the club. I was like, damn, she's so pretty. I used to dance with her all the time. I was terrified to let her know I liked her that much. So then somehow we end up talking. We decided to date, and she kind of like played me out. So like she was never attentive. She was barely around. And I wrote her this little email. Hey, listen, I think, maybe we shouldn't be right because you're always busy. And she was like, cool. It was her way out, right? She like, bet. So I feel like that was like a 2-week thing, whatever. So then years later, when I had got a divorce, so yeah, I said I got a divorce at 33. No, I got married at 33, so I got divorced around 35. Me and her met up that summer when I was divorced, and now she was all into me. So that summer, it was like cool, like I got to like really be with her, right? And but I wasn't that into her as I used to be, right? Because I was like, all right, it is what it is. And we stopped talking. And then I started dating Sandy that September, and she ended up hitting me up. Me and Sandy started dating in 2011. We got married in 2015. She hit me up like maybe 2 years later, and that's when I was like, I'm proposing to Sandy. Like literally, that happened, and I must have bought my ring like that week or that weekend. Yeah, it was deep. It like really like I was already thinking about it, and then that happened. I was like, yo, I know, because how I felt like I was so over her. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
It was cool.
Wow, amazing story, bro. That's cool. When what do you say? When your past comes up, at least your future.
When your past comes up, that's where you're at your future. And so the girl I was with,
right,
when my ex showed up, or the girl I used to be so infatuated with showed up, I felt so good where I was at. It wasn't a comparison,
Okay, gotcha. All right. My last one is a little light, but it's interesting as well and whatnot. And it's kind of on the lines of my versus question, but it's actually a would you rather. You know, shouts out to Sandy. Her Would You Rather questions on Sandy Anthony show.
Cool.
But this is a would you rather be the funniest person alive or the most attractive person alive?
Most attractive, right? I used
Why?
to be very vain back in the day. I think it's like in my nature. I was always a big flirt. I also always was funny as well. Always made girls laugh. But I think growing up, I remember there's a movie called Hunk, right?
Okay.
And I never forget it. It was in the 80s. And this guy, I need to look it up, but he did a wish. Did a wish as a kid that he would he would be really attractive. He wouldn't smell, like he'd never get sweaty. Like, and he got his wishes granted. He was this super attractive dude. All the girls liked him, and it was like a whole funny, like, not, I guess, a comedy back then. It wasn't like you're dying
Rom-com,
laughing, but yeah, or something, right? And and I always remember thinking of that. And but it was him wanting to be attractive, right? So just to answer the question simply, I don't know. I mean, I guess I could be me, but yeah, and be extra funny. But I'll just take the if I had to choose. Yeah, I'll be extra attractive. I think
Yeah.
because I was always working out and trying, like I was always a short, skinny kid, you know. And so I worked out when I was 14. I remember my uncle coming over, and my brother's dad used to have weights in the basement, but he never used them. My uncle used to come over and work out, and I started to work out with him. And I was just a short, skinny kid, so I used to work out when I was younger, and they used to call me Bruce, like Bruce Lee, because I was just real skinny, but I was so cut. And as I got older, I just always was into working out. So I think it just with my vibe probably would make sense if I wanted to be like I used to work out. Like I used to always say, there's 3 reasons to work out. One, you want to be really strong. There's guys that just they want to be strong. They don't even care how they look, like strong men. Those strong men would be like out of shape looking, but they're so strong. They'd drag a bus.
Like early Mark Henry or whatever.
Exactly, right? It's just dude, that was my dude too, right? He was just I admire him so much. He was so strong. Then second, and he was sexual talkative. Right. Second, he was ladies man. Second, people work out to be healthy, right? You work out just because you want to be healthy, you want to take care of yourself. And the third reason people work out for looks. That was me. I didn't care about being healthy. I didn't care about being strong. I just worked out because I wanted to walk on the beach with my shirt off.
Gotcha.
You're
on your Baywatch stuff. I got you.
That was it, man. I wanted to go to Seaside, Atlantic City, and mess with girls.
Interesting. Yeah, it's funny. My boy Chris just sent me a video of Mark Henry dunking a basketball back in the day. I didn't realize he could do that. So yeah, he definitely could dunk a basketball back then. Definitely. It was super athletic, like people didn't realize or whatever. So, yeah, for me, this is interesting. I'm pretty fucking funny right now. So, and always been that way. They both have their good things or whatever like that. You know what I mean? Like, but I think I would go with the funny because I think if I'm the funniest person alive, I think that could translate to more income and success than just being the most attractive person alive. Because there's some, there's some very attractive people walking around with no jobs.
Right. Yeah. Just boring as hell. Just
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like funny, I could go on the stage. I could do whatever. Like I could always make income if I'm the funniest person alive. I feel like you know what I mean. It can translate to so many avenues. So I'll probably go with that or whatever, and just use my money to make myself more attractive.
Like you ever met this hot chick and you're just like, yo, you're just dumber than I don't even know. Like it's
not even just dumb, but okay, it could be hot chicks that are dumb.
Yeah,
hot chicks that have horrible attitudes.
Yep.
Hot chicks that just are so vain you don't want to deal with them. It's a lot of very attractive people who have horrible personalities though.
So if we go down the rabbit hole, what would be the better choice for a lot of reasons. So if you was so attractive, you'd probably be so vain. You probably have you probably have fake friends, right?
Yeah.
It is a lot of artificial stuff will come with that. But then I wonder if you were so funny. Like, how could I be that
I feel
funny?
like funny people always want to be around.
Dude, that was me in middle school, man.
Yeah, not necessarily attractive people who always want to be around.
Right, that's true. Yeah.
Or whatever. So I feel like a funny person will always have friends.
Yeah.
Because they're
funny.
Then
there's times where girls don't want to approach you because they might think of the super hot chick. Sometimes you're like, I don't know. You might have a lot of girls that don't even want to approach you.
if you think about it, yeah, like super, especially when you're younger, for me or whoever else, like some super duper hot chicks who might have had great personalities, but it's because they're so
hot. She was stuck up.
Yeah, exactly.
I did that all the time. All the time.
Exactly. So you're like, nah, I really want to approach her in that way or whatever like that. So, and you know what else? You know, super duper attractive people, especially women, I want to say, they get told they're beautiful all the time, right? From everybody, not just guys, from women, from whoever and stuff like that. So because they get told that, I think sometimes they begin to believe that, obviously, or whatever like that. I think that affects their personality, and stuff like that. So I feel like that, you know, I would rather be, for me personally, I would rather be the funny guy that everybody loves to be around, everybody loves to call, everybody loves to talk to. I was the funny guy even in high school, middle school, same thing. Like they wanted me to come, hey Mike, come sit with us, you know what I mean? Because they know I was the funny guy and stuff like that. You know what I mean? The attractive person, you might not be like, hey, you can sit over there. Like, you know, it's like, what are they gonna do for you, really? You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go with the funny on that. So all right. So okay, you're up with the book of questions.
Book of questions, baby. You ready?
I am. I've got a number already.
All right,
I'm ready to
go. With?
I'm gonna go with 143.
Okay, dude. If this year no one picks my favorite question, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But I think a couple weeks ago somebody picked a question that I don't even remember, so that was pretty cool.
Wow.
But 143. All right, Mike. 143 is going to be. Do you ever spit or pick your nose in public? What about cleaning your teeth with a toothpick?
What? All right, just no. I'm doing any of that.
I wonder there might be some people that get elaborate. Like, listen, man, no matter where I'm at.
Yeah, let's go 148. How about switch it up for me? Hold on.
All right, 148 said, if by having a 2-inch by 2-inch tattoo, you could save 5 lives and prevent a terrorist attack, would you do so? If you were allowed to select the location and design, where would you have it, and what would you design it to be? That's deep. I haven't read that in forever.
I mean, yes, I would get a tattoo to save lives. 2-inch by 2-inch is nothing, or whatever.
You got tattoos now?
Yeah, I have one.
That's right. You got Big Mike.
Yeah, I got Big Mike. Yeah, that's it. I got one, but I haven't got one now. I was 15. This is much more than 20 years ago now for me. So would it feel? I don't know how it feels, honestly. So, but I would get it to save lives. I would. And I think I'll probably just do my other forearm. I got one forearm, I'll do the other one, stuff like that, and I'll put it there. And what it would be Superman. Because I had to save some lives or whatever. So that's what I would get. Yeah.
This is hard for me, Mike.
Because you don't have a tattoo.
I don't have no tattoos. And people die every day. Let's just be clear.
I mean, yes.
You don't
have a chance to save them every day.
You just said Florida had like 31,000 cases. So I mean.
But you don't got a chance to save them every day.
You do a percentage, probably like 15,000 of them about to die. So.
Oh my God. Why? Okay, let's start back before you answer the question. Did you ever think of getting a tattoo? And why?
So I did. So part of me was thinking. So when I was younger, in my 20s too, because I remember I was working at my the job Olsen when I started. I started working there when I was like 23, I think. And I remember I used to draw, so I remember I would doodle all day. I had one piece of paper where I wanted to make so I wanted my initials to be right here. And I wanted the ALL, and I wanted like the cursive A. The middle L would have been a printed L, and the G would have been cursive, or maybe the other way around. But anyway, I went on and on and on. I just couldn't, because I wanted to give someone who would do my tattoo, hey, I wanted it to be my own drawing, and you put my artwork on me, right? And I could not figure it out. And obviously, I wanted to be there forever. If I got famous, that would have been my logo, whatever, right? ALL. And I just could never figure it out. And I got to the point where I just got so frustrated. I was like, man, the hell with it. I don't want a tattoo. Because I wanted my tattoo to be so special. And I couldn't figure it out. So I never had a tattoo. And never looked back. So if I got one now, to save how many people?
5.
Hell no.
What?
No, I ain't know. What, it did say 5? Yeah, it said 5. Yeah, I'm definitely not saving 5 lives.
It's just a tattoo, bro, for 5 lives.
No, bro.
And it's only 2 by 2 inches. It's nothing.
You better if I could cure cancer, I get a tattoo.
That's crazy.
You know,
Oh.
that's 5 people.
Why are you so against it now at this age or whatever?
You know what it is? It's weird. So it's like a legacy of mine. I want to be on my deathbed and say I never drank, I never smoked, I never had a tattoo. Like that's just a thing now.
Okay, all right, got
Yeah,
you.
it's like
Got
you
you.
know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
5 people, bro. You could pick out 5 of my closest friends. Like y'all about to die.
All right, well, you gonna let me die, bro? That's messed up, bro. That's horrible. Oh, okay, I got you. You know what's interesting though? You say that though. Like, again, I got mine. I was 15, so
Right.
I was 15. When I was 15, it was maybe 98 or something like that, or 99, and it was a huge trend. That's when it
Yeah.
really was getting trendy, or whatever. And to where like, especially amongst black people, if you know, like the 80s and early 90s, that was more of a white person thing,
Right.
getting tattoos and
Right.
whatnot. Like, but then in the late 90s, it became a huge thing amongst black people and stuff. So, so it was trendy. And then I was in Seaside Heights, and the guy was like, my mom was like there, so she was like, yeah, he can get it, and I can get it, even though I was 15 years old.
Yeah, I was
As
about
long
to
as
ask
my
you,
mom
who
was
let
there.
you get a tattoo at 15?
Of my mom,
Okay.
but she was actually there or whatever, like that. She got one the same day. Actually.
Okay.
She got my name too. She got Mike Jr. and I got Big Mike the same exact day. So it was great because I was the only person in my school at 15 years old, obviously, who had a tattoo. Whatever, when I went to school, whatever. Everybody was like, "You got that? You still got that?" And I was like, "Yeah, I still got that." That was crazy, whatever, like that. But anyway, my point is that I never got another one. Right? I'm 35 years old now, so I wonder if I didn't get one at 15 as an adult me, would I still never have one or whatever like that?
Yeah, it's
Or just
interesting.
one of those,
Because
adolescent
think
things.
about it. You got it when you was unable to get it, but you had to have a parent to approve it. But then you
Right.
never got another one. So you would think if you already had one, you would have wanted another one, but you never did as an adult. So you probably wouldn't have.
I probably
It
wouldn't.
almost seems like, yeah, you probably wouldn't have.
Yeah, it's weird. It seemed like one of those things I did as like an adolescent
Right.
that as an adult thinking clearer, I'll probably be like, nah, it's not for me.
Right.
Or whatever. So it's really, really interesting. Everybody said like got it at 15, but like you said, never.
Right.
When I could have got it on my own, paid for it, got it freely and stuff like that, never went back. Yeah, so it's very weird. But yeah. All right.
It's weird. I mean, I wanted them when I was younger. I just got so frustrated I couldn't figure it out. I even had a buddy of mine. We was close friends, and he did tattoos. He was always like, "Bro, let me know." He did this big tiger on my brother's chest for free. Took him 5 hours. Like he would have easily gave me whatever I wanted. And I was into dragons. I could have came up with something cool, but I couldn't.
You know
think
what
of
it is,
anything.
bro, too? Like, I got mine at 15. I'm happy I got it on my forearm, which is here.
Right.
But some people who I know got it then, who are already older, let's say late 90s, like 40 years old or 30. Now they're like 65 or 70. I'm like, you look crazy with this tattoo on your back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, like or on their chest, or on their back, or a woman who has it on her biceps.
Dude,
Like,
I always get mad at Sandy, and I'm being transparent. I don't know why but when she was younger, she got the tramp stamp with her kid's name, Bobby and Sierra. I'm like, why'd you put it there? Like, what do you mean? I'm like, you do know it's tramp stamp. I mean, it's kind of high. No, that's what it is. Like, like even yesterday, we was at the
that's so crazy,
bro. That's so crazy. She was like, "No, you're being extra." I'm like, "I'm not being extra." I mean, I often have to see Bobby and Sierra.
I know that's what I'm thinking about.
Bro.
You gotta look at Bobby and Sierra when you're having sex. That's hilarious.
Yo, it's the dumbest thing ever. Like where was your mom at? Like, where was your brain at? Who was your friends? Like
you could have got anything, but you got Bobby.
Right. You could have got Bobby and Sierra.
Right,
Bobby and Sierra. No, on your knuckles. Bobby and Sierra. Like,
that's hilarious, man. Yeah, that was not that was well thought out. It's like she wanted two things at once. She wanted her kid's name and the tramp stamp. She put them together. Whatever.
For real, like, yo, your decision making is not right.
All right, let me go with I'm gonna do one more because that first one was kind of trash or whatever. Boogers and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go with the time 1:57. How about that?
All right, 1:57.
Yeah.
Oh, that was cool. If you had to spend the next 2 years inside a small but fully provisioned Antarctic shelter with one other person, whom would you like to have with you?
Oh, that's crazy.
That is crazy. And that's how many years you said?
2 years.
Damn.
And that's not fair to me. It's good for you because you got a wife, so it's
Right.
easy for you. But I'm single and don't have a wife or girlfriend. And what is it? An Antarctic? What does it say again? Antarctic.
Antarctic shelter.
That's small, but
You ain't really going outside.
Right. But it's saying that we got provisions, so I mean we got food and stuff like that
Right.
now, whatever like that. Oh man, bro, that's so. Oh man, 2 years. 2 years is tough, bro. I could barely spend 2 days with people. Like 2 years is hard
Yeah.
as hell. I'm not gonna lie. Man, how about you? How about you? If you couldn't choose Sandy, who would you choose?
Well, I'll definitely choose a female. So I
All
would
right.
just go through my mind and just pick an ex or a girl I dated or a girl I messed with in the past she was funny, she was cool, and we had a lot in common. I would have to do that. So if I couldn't pick Sandy, um, this girl I dated in Florida, I always talk positive about her. But here's the thing though, we only dated for 3 months. So
Mm-hmm.
she was awesome and I ruined it. And I always think about her like, damn, man, she was awesome. Southern hospitality, the nicest girl. She was pretty, cool personality. Just so I would want us to pick her, but bro, I only dated her for 3 months. I don't really. Could have been those first 3 months. But in years, when years go by, and we always talk on the phone whenever if we ever we met each other on Facebook, she still seemed cool, but so that's scary. Let me think. The one girl that I was super into, um, bro, I remember going to the movies with her on our first date. She talked through the whole movie. You know what movie we went and seen? Um, what was it called? Remember the movie where they made a plane and the artificial intelligence became aware of itself, and that
Mm-hmm.
plane just flew.
Yeah. With
I used
yeah, I
I
you
used to
talking about.
always remember the name of that. But I remember taking her to the movie and she talked through the whole thing. I'm like, yo, like she's cool people's, but personality wise. So
No.
I like to look at her, but
Mm.
so and then one person let me think of is this one chick I used to date where we was best friends, but I was never attracted to her because I wasn't that into black girls, and she was black, and so um it was just weird how we ended up dating. And then I was like so into her, and she broke up with me, and I was like crying. That was when "So Sick of Love" song came out. That must have been the most listened to song I ever listened to. She was so cool. I remember our first date. She brought over video games, and I got pizza, and we just and I didn't even want to date. I was doing it because my boys liked her, and I didn't. So I was like, she kind of is into me, so I just wanted to do it just to say I went on a date with her, and then I just fell for her hard because she was mad cool.
Were you figuratively crying or were you actually crying when she broke up with you?
Don't you worry about that, all right? But it was the saddest part, one of the saddest times of my life.
Okay.
And I know it was hard to get over. Then I turned to the bad guy. I was like, bro, I don't even care about girls. I'm gonna date her, mess with her.
That
I didn't even
happens.
care. It was crazy. And then some girl I knew actually died, and that's the only
Oh.
thing that snapped me out of it. I was like, damn, bro, this life is real. Like this chick that I used to mess with just died. She
Oh
OD'd on
wow.
drugs. And I was like, yeah, I need to get my act together. Anyways, but yo, Josh is in the building to hear these crazy stories. So yeah, if I couldn't take my wife, I would just pick some girl. It had to be, So
One of those girls, I guess, or whatever.
yeah,
That's
my advice
hilarious.
to you, I was gonna say, you should just pick a girl that whether you dated or not, but you knew her long enough that she was funny, she was cool, and you could at least be with her for not that you need to be with her, but listen, I could stick it out with her for 2 years.
Gosh, Josh is cracking up in the chat. By
I
the way,
know.
what's up, J Dub? Yeah, I would pick definitely pick an ex who I know. One that wouldn't complain because there's gonna be
Right.
cold there,
Yes.
and I have dated women who are just super complainers, so I couldn't deal with that at all. Like you said, one who's smart. No, you ain't gotta be smart.
Yeah,
One
gotta
who's
be smart.
funny. Yeah, one who's funny, can laugh at the jokes, stuff like that. One who has a lot in common with me, and one who's, I don't know, as can be a horn dog, so I guess whatever like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
That's important.
so
Yes.
yeah,
I didn't even put that in there, but that was a given. So
yeah, that's definitely important or whatever like that. So I probably have uh probably 3 different X's I would pick for that.
that's
I'm not sure.
cool.
Cool. Yeah.
Do you have a top?
Whew. Stop, man.
Because I think I finalized who I would be with.
Ooh, which one?
I think you know what's crazy? There was this chick I was super into. She was the funniest girl. She was so pretty. But she didn't like black guys. And so she was light-skinned black chick. And we never ever dated. There was one time where she hit me up right before I got married to my ex-wife. And it was like the weekend before I got married. She was like, you know what? I should have gave you a chance. And I was like, you gonna say this now? Yo, she had moved to New York, but I never messed with her. And so I feel like I can't choose somebody that I never messed with in that way. And I never even was kind of in a relationship because I don't really know what to judge. Like she was super cool, super funny, but I don't really know, right? How the chemistry would have been. Plus, she didn't like me for like forever. So I feel like, was you going through something in your life that made you finally be attracted to me? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I think I narrow it down. I would pick the ex girl who broke up with me and I was crying over. To spend
Gotcha.
2 years, we was friends for like a few years at work, and then we dated for I don't know maybe 6 months, something like that. And I was super into her. I'll pick her.
Okay. All right. That's cool. Um, Damn. This is actually really, really hard. I mean, the one that would be my very, very first love. And we had a great chemistry. She's married now. She's cool, whatever like that. But we had a great chemistry. Um, and I mean, I was young, but then we dated again years
Right.
later and stuff like that. As an adult, maybe like 22, 23, I want to say, or maybe 24. And she was really, really great. So she could be one. And then my ex always tell you about the one from about 10 years ago. Um, who and we did it for like 2 years basically,
Okay.
and we had that too. We watched Super Bowls together, Christmas things we did, and I felt, and I used to go to her house and spend like weekends or even weeks over there. So I feel like knowing that I could do that, because again, I only spend a lot of time with people. I'm just not good at whatever like that.
Yeah.
Knowing that I could do that, I make cameos at cookouts. I'm like, all right, I gotta go. Like I don't stay places for a long time. So knowing that I could do that, I feel like she definitely would be one. I'm almost recent ex, obviously. Well, you know very well, or whatever like that. So, it hurt too. So they're both top 3. I can't pick one or another right now.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, so I'm up now, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so
The
versus question.
questions, baby.
Yeah, I took what I had already on file. I'm gonna ask for new ones now that I got it for our next show. But 1 through what I got 23 right now.
Okay. I'm gonna pick 23. The number that I see all the time.
Okay. I might have asked you this already, actually, but it doesn't matter. I'll figure it out. Let's see. I gotta revamp these. Somebody already asked you, but it's okay. Let's see. Would you go with Oh, here's one for you. This is light, actually. No, I'm not gonna do that. Hold on.
Bro, why are you switching around my number?
Because 23's already been taken.
Oh,
I
okay.
feel like. Oh, people are pick another one. Yeah, 1 to 22. Let's say.
Well, it's up to you. But if I'm gonna pick another number, I'm gonna pick another
No,
number.
pick another number.
Not
Then.
you
Pick another number.
forcing me to pick 22.
All right, pick another number. 1 to 22. Pick another one. The 23's already been taken.
All right. 13.
That way. All right, cool. Helping people move. Would you rather help somebody move all day for all weekend, or babysit all weekend?
I guess it depends on the kids, but man, I always get annoyed helping people move. But I'm a good mover. People always ask me. My boy just moved on the 17th and asked me like, "Yo, would you help me move?" I was like, "No." But no, because I didn't even talk to him in a minute, and we just started talking again. He's like, "Yo, what's up?" Like, "Yo, what's up?" Like, "Yo, bro, you gonna help me move?" I'm like, "Yo, get the hell out of here, yo." But you know what? I actually had something planned that day. That was my daughter's mom's birthday that passed away, so they was doing that birthday party for her mom. But I mean, I would have helped them. He jokingly said it, so I jokingly said no. But if he was like, "No, bro, I'm for real, I got nobody," I was like, "Okay, I'll help you out." And then I would have realized I had something to do, and I would have figured it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't
moving.
see you being a babysitter though for some reason. I see you with your granddaughter. I seen the video with the trampoline, which is a great video, by the way. I watched the whole thing, but I don't see you being like an all
Yeah,
day,
nah, bro. I don't
just
like.
you by yourself
I'm not
babysitter.
really cool with little kids, especially babies. If it's a baby, ain't happening. A kid got to be able to go to the bathroom on their own.
Right,
That
right,
ain't
right.
happening. My granddaughter's cool because Sandy really watches her. She picks her up every Wednesday. Most Wednesdays, they kind of backed off a little bit. But
Yeah.
and then I come home at 5,
Right,
right?
right.
And then I jump on trampoline for a little bit. All right, you got listen. You ready to go see your mom? You know?
But imagine all day for a weekend. So you got
Nah, I'm
Saturday and
helping. Yeah, I'd rather help move.
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
I definitely see that with you, bro. For some
yeah.
reason. I think the kids get on your nerves or whatever. So especially if it's like toddler, let's say your granddaughter's age or whatever, all day. I just don't see it. You'll be like, yo, I'm trying to play the game. What you want?
For real. Yo, my daughter. So here's what's funny. My wife was like, and shout outs to my daughter. It was her birthday yesterday. Who has her mom, my granddaughter's
Okay.
mom. So she's 22 now. But so it's crazy. She's 22 and my son is 22. So
Oh
I got two
wow.
kids that's the same age now. They're always the same age for September. His birthday's September 19th. So they're the same age for like 2 months, pretty much.
Wow.
So yeah, how crazy is that? But my wife was like, man, she needs a lot of attention. She said she was trying to because she works during the day, right? But she still, have her. So she said, I was on the phone for work, and she's like, G mom, G mom. She was like, yo, Avery, listen, I'm on the phone. She's like, oh, G mom, G mom. And I was like, like, yo, little kids, man. She was like, yo, she must say G mom like 1,000 times, yo. She need my attention. Like, that's little kids.
That's toddlers, man.
Yeah.
What happens, bro?
It's like she want to show me everything. She's jumping and dancing. G mom, look. Like, you don't sit the
Yeah.
hell down.
Yeah, I saw your trampoline nip up too, by the way. Can't wait to see you doing the regular floor.
I'm about to start practicing it. What?
By the way, Josh, you need to see that video again too, by the way.
Yep. Well, if my granddaughter knew how to hold the damn thing, you'd see it better. But there's so many stuff I did. I'm like, yo, no, you got to keep holding. Like, remember back then you would play a game and you like,
yeah.
my granddaughter holding the thing, like, yo, don't follow me. Like, what the?
Anyway, okay. So for me, I would probably do the babysitting, bro. Like I hate moving, not just helping people, but moving in general.
No,
I can't stand moving. Like if I move, I'm hiring a mover. I don't care what it costs. I'm putting movers in my budget. Like I can't stand moving stuff. Yeah. And that's the thing for me because I've moved 35 times in my life. So I think that for me it makes sense or whatever. But because of that, bro, I just can't do it. Psychologically, I just don't want to fucking see the stuff, whatever like that. So now definitely, and I'm good with kids. You know what I mean? I mean, toddlers can be tough. You just got to do things that they want to do. So you got to get out of your mind. You're gonna do what you want to do. You gotta do what they want to do. That's the only thing, and that's the hard part. Because like I don't want to fucking watch Sesame Street all day or whatever it is like that. But you just got to do it to get past the day or whatever, which is tough. It's tough for you for sure.
I think I can muscle through the moving. Like I was like, you know what, man, let's just get this done. And I'm a pretty good mover too, but I just hate it. Just like you, I hate it. And I moved like 8 million times too. But, I'd just be like, you know what, we got to get it done. But I don't know about the kid. I mean, I guess the kid thing could be easier. Obviously, it's not as physical. But I don't know.
All right. Well, anyway, all right. So let's go 1 through 21 now. Let's use 22 for you.
Okay. No, I just used 13.
I'll use 13. Yeah, never mind. All right. So 1 through 22, no 13. There you go.
All right. I'm gonna let you choose. I want to choose either 7 or 22. So give me a hint, like, and I'll choose one or the other.
I think number 7. I feel like I don't know what she would say. I don't know what she would say. 22. I feel like I do know what she would say. So yeah,
Let's
it's
go
up to
7.
you.
Let's go 7.
All right. 7, I would say you've had only one of these, so we'll see. No, you had none of these actually, but this is very interesting. Spend a day as another race, or spend a day as the opposite gender.
I want to be the opposite gender. Remember the thing I told you about.
You want to have sex with a guy? I understand. Yeah, I got that part.
You don't
Right.
have to say it like that.
I'm
bro.
that's what you said.
Yo, Mike. Okay, whatever, man.
But it's on several shows, not even this our show.
I mean, but the way you say it, you want to have sex with a guy.
Okay. Why in this situation would you rather do that than another race?
You know what? So I'm like the least racist person ever, right? So for me, bro, people are like, oh, what is your race? I'm an Earthling. Bro, you're black. I'm an Earthling. I live on planet Earth. Everybody's an Earthling. Like, there's no difference. Like, we might look a little like, okay, so black people might have more round features. White people might have more straight features. I don't know. We're still, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like if I was another race, I'm just still another person. Like, what the hell is that? That's not. I'm a white guy, or I'm an Asian guy, or I'm an Indian guy, right? And for how long could we be them?
It's a day. Spend a day. Yes, sis.
Oh, let me see what it's like to have good credit and money, to be funny, right?
Right.
I got good credit, and I got decent money. I did that already. So, but to be a female, right? It'd be like, or maybe I'd be a single white female. But to be a female,
good movie. Whatever.
Just to be a female, to turn, like, if I turn into a girl, my name is Antonia, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing that I can't even imagine. I can imagine what it would be like to be a different race, right? Whether the good stuff or the bad stuff. I got an ideal of what that would be like. I had racist stuff happen to me. I had, you know what I'm saying? I could fathom the ups and downs, but I can't fathom what it would be like to be. I could get an ideal of what it would be like to be a woman, but I would want to see.
I wonder why,
Yeah.
On the verse question, I thought it was an interesting question.
Yep.
The verses one. I would say a different race. Only because I can't do being a female. I just can't do it. It's just me personally. But also,
Mike, you'll be the girl that be on your period that first day. You'd be like, really? Got cramps and all that.
I'll be in the house eating chocolate, watching movies all day or some shit. But
yeah.
Also, I don't know. I think it will be interesting to walk around just to see if some of the stereotypes or even privileges are valid or not as the white person and whatnot. To see if places that I frequent, let's say, would give me more pleasantries or act better towards me because, let's say, I'm white or something like that. Just to see if it's just in our heads or if it's true.
Be white and walk in the hood. See if you could really walk down the street and nobody mess with you.
Well, you can't. So don't do that.
No, people drive me crazy when they act like that's not a thing. I'm like,
I had a friend of mine. His name is Chris Reitz. Shouts out to Chris, a white kid. I don't even know where he's at right now, whatever like that. But several years ago, he was living in Hamilton. But like when you're on Greenwood Avenue going towards Nottingham Way, that turns into Hamilton Township and stuff like that. But he was living in Hamilton with another my old boss, actually, a guy named Dan, a white guy, stuff like that. But Reitz was going through something, let's say. So he had to cash his check, and he had a paper check, and he had a bank account. So he had nowhere to cash it. And he found out there's a check casher place in the hood. So he took a walk. He had no car. So he walked to the hood about, like, I want to say 25, 30 minutes from his house. So it was several blocks by the time he, whatever. Now he's in the hood. He cashed his check. And of course, someone from the hood sees this kid cash his check. He's counting his money. Anyway, I'm so sorry to laugh. So he walks out. He walks down the street. So of course, what happened? And this is what he tells me. So I'm like, hey, white boy, what? Pow! It punches him in his face, knocks off his glasses, and takes some of his money or whatever like that. And I don't mean to laugh, but I was just like, Chris, why don't you go by yourself? He's like, I think not what happened. Why was something happen? I was
Thought
like,
it was equality, huh? Wrong.
Right.
No, but see, this was what made me mad when I made that video. The real issues with being black, right? And I kind of touched on that. Everybody act like, what? White people don't get picked on and trade. And I was like, yo, are you kidding me right now? Y'all being real fake, man, just to try to prove a point. No, like.
I can attest to it. My guy Reeds, whatever. Shout out to him.
Yo, why they had to knock his glasses off, man? You ain't
yeah, that's what I felt bad about. Because he couldn't see the.
You could have just been like, bro, give me your money.
Right. They didn't give him a chance.
They probably would have ran and they would have had to chase him, but you know.
Yeah. So of course, suffice, he never went. I guess raining hard out there or whatever.
Yeah, but it's funny because I heard it coming down, but it stopped by me.
He never went back there again. I hate to laugh, but Reach was just a comedian or whatever. But anyway, to your point, I probably wouldn't do that as a white person. I know better, but I would try to go to places just to see what I get accommodated more. If I was white or whatever, to see how even anybody would treat me as a black person than they would treat me, regularly. Just so I can come back and report. Like, yeah. But even for black people, I want to say, I know y'all feel like the white people get treated better here, this and that, but they really don't, or whatever. Or I could say, no, you're right, they really do. So I would do that for the day.
Or how about this scientifically? Let me be an Asian guy and see if I'm better at math.
I mean, I could do that too, or whatever. You know what I mean? I could be a Hispanic guy and make certain foods. All
these stereotypes we got.
I know.
Isn't it funny though? Like,
yeah, it is funny. It's very, very funny, or whatever like that. But if I did the age of 7, I was like, I could create time travel right now. Something like that'd be crazy. Who knows, whatever. But anyway, guys, thank you guys, man, for watching. That was our last versus question. It's been a great show as usual. Shouts out to TJ, Josh, E Money, Bruce, and Unitrix for being in the comments today. It was good to bring our show back, man. Anytime we can, we will. Always a great, fun show. And again, we'll be back next week. We're going to do a spoiler review for a Suicide Squad, and then a spoiler discussion sometime next Sunday. So for that, I'm Big Mike.
And I'm Little Ant.
Out.
Now we're still on live because you didn't get me. I didn't get myself prepared. So, so guys, hold on so we can end this thing. Mike, you just went right into it. I wasn't ready.
All right. I thought we feed off each other, bro. What happened?
Oh no, I was just enjoying the
commentary.
Yeah, the commentary. All right. So I'm ready.
To end the show.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be back next week for some more discussions. For that, I'm Big Mike.
And I'm Little Ant.